The Israelis own the skies over Gaza. Apache attack helicopters move in, take their time, and fire their rockets. For the third day, the Israeli barrage of rocket, bomb, and artillery fire has continued. The targets have changed from largely Hamas military personnel and facilities to the tunnels through which the Israelis suspect weapons-making material is smuggled, to the weapons themselves, and to government compounds, the symbols of the militant group Hamas's control over Gaza. While the Palestinians put their death toll at well above 300, a UN relief agency says more than 50 of the victims were civilians, some of them children. Yet the Israeli action has not had the desired effect of stopping Hamas rocket fire into Israel. More than 40 rockets and mortars were fired from Gaza, killing at least 3 more Israelis. And a defiant Israeli defense minister told parliament here that the fight would continue to what he called the bitter end.
We tried everything in order to avoid this military operation. We had no other alternative, and Hamas needs to understand that the equation is going to be changed.
But will it take a ground invasion to change it? Israeli army mechanized units were forming up in the area around Gaza today. The soldiers said they'd received no orders to advance so far. That this campaign is having a devastating effect within Gaza is obvious, but its ultimate objectives are still unclear. Hamas is damaged, but how badly and for how long? And how many new recruits, how many new militants, and how much more hatred is being created by an assault on this scale?
Don't go near windows or anything.
Maha El-Bana, an English teacher in Gaza, talks to her children who have been taken to a safer place. If the Israelis hope Hamas power will be undermined by the devastation being brought down on Gaza, she has her doubts.
Right now, what I see is that people are too occupied with what's going on, and they're not going to sit down and blame Hamas for this. They're blaming the original source, which is Israel, and the attacks it's carrying.
Well, there is still a huge imbalance between the numbers being killed in Gaza and those being killed here in Israel. The persistence, the deadliness, and most of all the range of the Hamas rockets coming out of Gaza is increasing. Hamas doesn't have to defeat the Israelis to win in this conflict. It merely has to survive. And thus far, Israeli air power alone has not put it out of business. Maggie?
Mark, if the Israeli air power has not been enough for Israel to accomplish its mission, it begs the question of whether Israel needs to launch a ground invasion. When I spoke this morning with Foreign Minister Livni on the early show, she didn't rule it out.
No, they won't rule it out. And as I mentioned in the story, the buildup increases along the Israeli-Gaza frontier. But there's a huge danger if the Israelis decide to use what they call this tool in their bag and go in either in an invasion or in incursions. And that danger is casualties, especially in the dense urban environment within Gaza. If the Israelis start taking casualties, then this whole operation starts to look sour in much the same way as the invasion of Lebanon 2 summers ago. Maggie?
Reminiscent of 2006. Thank you, Mark.